Ever wonder how those top salespeople just seem to rake in the commissions?
Like they've got some secret formula.
Exactly. Well, today we're going to try to crack that code.
Ooh, I like that. Crack the code.
We're diving deep into excerpts from this training program
Oh, I've heard of this, yeah.
called Double Your Sales Commissions.
Catchy title.
Right. It's from a group called Elite Sales Training,
Yeah.
or EST for short.
EST.
Even though we only have snippets from this program, you can, feel the energy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Like it's practically jumping off the page.
Caught that motivational speaker vibe.
Totally. But, geared specifically towards closing deals.
Makes sense, I mean.
And speaking of closing deals, one of the first things that jumps out is their idea of dominating your territory.
Oh, yeah. That sounds aggressive.
Right. But before you think, we're talking about, actual land grabs.
Haha. Yeah. No hostile takeovers, right?
It's more about the mindset,
Like a strategic battle plan for sales.
Exactly. But how does that actually play out,
Well, think of it this way. If you're selling a product,
Okay. Tangible goods. Yeah.
right, it could be about becoming the go-to person for a certain region or demographic.
So cornering the market in a particular area.
You got it. But it gets even more interesting when you apply it to services.
Yes, services are different. How do you dominate a territory when you're not selling a physical product?
It's less about geography and more about establishing yourself as the top expert in your field.
So your territory is more like your niche, your expertise.
Exactly. Let's say you're a consultant, right? Dominating your territory could mean becoming the recognized authority in a specific industry.
The thought leader everyone wants to hire.
Right. Or it could be about building an unbeatable network of clients and referrals.
So less about pushing competitors out and more about attracting clients through your reputation.
That's the idea. Now, this whole hyper-competitive mindset,
Yeah, got to be careful with that, right?
definitely, there are downsides. Like you don't want to neglect collaboration or, ethical considerations.
Got to play fair.
Absolutely. It's all about balance.
For sure. Now, besides this whole dominate your territory thing, EST also has this sales success formula.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the magic formula?
They break it down into 3 parts. Crystal clear goals.
Okay, standard stuff, yeah.
Unwavering belief.
Sounds more intense.
And massive action. So, pretty straightforward, right?
You'd be surprised how many people miss those fundamentals.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Whether we're talking about sales or, life in general,
True.
this formula aligns perfectly with goal-setting theory.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
So the idea is that to achieve anything, you need a clear vision of what you want.
The crystal clear goals part.
Yeah. Then you need unshakable belief that you can achieve it. The unwavering belief.
Easier said than done sometimes.
No doubt. And finally, you need to put in the work, the massive action. It's not just about dreaming, it's about doing.
But how do you cultivate that unwavering belief, especially when you're facing, constant rejection?
You're hitting on a crucial point. It's not just about positive thinking, right?
No, definitely not.
It takes more than just willpower. This is where, techniques from sports psychology or even mindfulness can help.
Okay, I'm curious. How does that work?
Well, things like visualizing success.
Like picturing yourself closing the deal.
Exactly. And focusing on your strengths, building a routine that reinforces your confidence. Those all make a difference.
So it's like training your mind to believe, just like you train your muscles at the gym.
Exactly. It's about building that mental toughness.
And that ties into the massive action piece of the formula, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about working hard. It's about working strategically and, consistently.
Smart work, not just hard work.
Right. But that being said, we also need to talk about the flip side.
The potential for burnout.
Exactly. I remember when I first started out, I thought working 24/7 was the key.
I think a lot of people fall into that trap, especially early on.
Oh, for sure. But I learned the hard way, sustainability is just as important as ambition.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's vital to set realistic goals, prioritize, and, schedule downtime.
Yeah, recharging those batteries is essential.
Absolutely.
Speaking of handling challenges, EST also dedicates a lot of time to handling objections.
Ah, yes. The art of turning a no into a yes.
They even mention this technique called feel, felt, found.
Ooh, that's a classic.
I'm not familiar with that one, though. What's the gist?
It's a really clever way of addressing a customer's concerns without dismissing them.
So validating their feelings.
Exactly. It's like saying, I understand how you feel. Other customers have felt the same way, but here's what they found.
Ooh, I see. So you're acknowledging their hesitation, but then pivoting to a positive experience.
Exactly. It's about building rapport, showing the customer you're on their side.
Like you're working together to find the best solution, not just pushing a sale.
Exactly. Of course, you got to use this technique ethically.
Right. It's not about manipulation.
No, the goal is to genuinely address concerns and find the right fit for the customer.
For sure. Now, last but not least, EST talks about closing strong.
Ah, yes, the grand finale.
They don't give us any specific techniques in the excerpts we have, but I imagine this is where the real magic happens.
It definitely is. Closing is all about confidence and timing. It's like you've led the customer through this dance.
Okay, I like that analogy, the sales dance.
You've built a connection, and now it's time for that final move.
So what are some of the moves in this closing dance?
Oh, there are so many approaches. Some salespeople create a sense of urgency,
This offer ends today, sort of thing.
That's it. Others will reiterate the value proposition, really hammering home those benefits for the customer.
Reminding them why they need this product or service.
Exactly. And sometimes the best move is simply asking for the sale directly.
Just straight up confidence.
You got it.
Okay, so let's recap what we've learned from EST. They emphasize that dominating your territory mindset, even when it comes to like consulting or other services,
Right. Finding your niche and becoming the authority.
they have their sales success formula, which honestly is pretty solid advice even outside of sales.
Oh, absolutely. Those principles apply to pretty much any goal.
And they equip you with techniques for handling objections and closing those deals like a pro.
Exactly. But here's something to think about, even though this training is all about boosting sales commissions.
Right, it's very sales focused.
How much of this advice can we apply to other parts of our lives? Whether you're aiming for a promotion, starting a side hustle, or just trying to learn a new skill.
Interesting.
That same drive, clarity, and resilience are essential, wouldn't you say?
I'd agree with that.
It's not just about achieving goals, it's about how you get there. Maintain that ethical core, and that success will be even sweeter.
Great advice. We'll leave our listeners to ponder that. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Always a pleasure.
Until next time.
See you then.